Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater just got a remake in Unreal Engine 5, and on the surface, it looks amazing and sounds like the best thing since sliced bread. Every jungle leaf, every pore on Snake's face, every drop of sweat, and every line of bizarre dialogue in 4K.
I'm in a box.
But the more I played, the stranger it felt. Because this isn't the Snake Eater that I remember. This isn't the Snake Eater that I played when I was 5 years old. One of my earliest gaming memories is coming home from primary school in the UK before I even moved to France, and my brother Dave having bought this game. I didn't even have the controller because I was like 5, but I remember staring at the screen and seeing the crocodiles and remember thinking how crazy it looked. The original was swampy, yellow, green, hazy, and it made the game feel like a Cold War fever dream. People have always laughed at this piss filter, but that's what gave the level design so much atmosphere. This jungle was hazy, smoky, confusing, mysterious, and looking back now at the original gameplay, it made the world feel dangerous, like there were secrets hiding in the fog, and it didn't feel like a polished video game level. It felt like a half-remembered war story you weren't really sure happened. It felt like a memory. But now, in Metal Gear Solid Delta, that's gone. The jungle is clean, crisp, 4K, sharp, and Snake's face is rendered down to the pores. The foggy dream of 2004 has been replaced by a glossy tech demo, and in scrubbing away those imperfections, I think Konami scrubbed away the soul of one of the greatest games ever made. When Snake Eater came out in 2004, it was revolutionary for the time. Although it wasn't perfect, the controls were stiff, Snake did crawl like a tank, and healing yourself meant digging through clunky menus. But those flaws added to the experience. They did slow you down, they made you feel like the survival in the jungle was hard work, and compared to Metal Gear Solid 2 and 1, these advances were so crazy and made the experience so more immersive. And that yellow pissy filter made the game look muddy, but it gave the whole thing a kind of VHS Super 8 war footage vibe, like you weren't actually playing history, perhaps you were playing a myth. Then there was the Kojima weirdness, Ocelot mewing like a cat, and Paramedic talking about old monster movies, and Snake's hilariously awkward dialogue, but we're used to that with Hideo Kojima by now. On the PS2, all of that weirdness just fit. The lo-fi graphics made it surreal and dreamlike, and Snake Eater wasn't just a stealth game, it was strange and unforgettable. But then I played Delta, and I'll be real with you, it was fun at first. Seeing those legendary cutscenes in 4K is exciting. Snake's parachute drop, the bridge scene with the boss, these moments hit really hard because you're seeing them in such crazy detail. The Volgin torture scene, for example, feels crazy in 4K. With the electricity and their facial expressions, it really comes off very cinematically. The boss fights are still cinematic, and there's also a great thrill in seeing the end, the pain, and the fury in 4K. Even if the atmosphere does feel different, these moments are epic in their own right. But once the novelty wears off, you realize there's absolutely nothing new. It's exactly the same game, just shinier, and that actually makes it less fun to replay. Because some scenes, in my opinion, work better on PlayStation 2. Like the bridge scene. In the original one, the hazy fog made the jungle feel mysterious, like it was hiding secrets. In Delta, it's crystal clear, too clear, and suddenly the jungle doesn't feel mysterious at all. It feels all like a set. Snake Eater's jungle was meant to be blurry, dreamlike, and dangerous. In 4K, for some reason, it being this pristine, it just feels strange. Perhaps the biggest problem about this remake is that Kojima isn't here. He refuses to talk about it, and it's a shame, because had he been on the remake, I imagine there would have been so many more crazy features added, but I don't think Konami felt like they could take enough liberties in updating everything. The original was full of his fingerprints and DNA, the sense that the game was equal parts spy thriller, war story, and absurd comedy with Japanese humor. Delta doesn't have that energy. It's reverent, sure, even faithful, but it feels like a cover band, technically hitting all the notes, but missing the passion that made the song legendary. The thing is, remakes don't have to be bad. Resident Evil 2 reimagined the gameplay and it was brilliant, and fans loved it. The Final Fantasy VII remake gave us a whole new story, and even Shadow of the Colossus stayed faithful but still felt fresh. Delta doesn't really do any of that, it just polishes the surface. And I guess what's even crazier is that when you compare Delta to Metal Gear Solid 5, which came out 10 years ago, the movement animations are almost identical, and the stealth mechanics are pretty much the same. The only real difference is shinier textures. And get this, Metal Gear Solid 5 was only 20 gigabytes and Delta is 90, which is almost 5 times bigger on your hard drive, but smaller in scope, way less gameplay, and not nearly as innovative. And that says a lot about the state of modern games. We keep making them bigger, shinier, heavier, but never really better. And it's not just Snake Eater, we're drowning in remakes. Every year another classic gets recycled, like Disney remaking all of its own movies frame for frame. Games that aren't even old get rebuilt in 4K now. It's safe, it's profitable, but it kills creativity, and worse, it starts to overwrite the original. Eventually, people won't even know what made these games magical in the first place, they'll just know the polished copy. And I guess that's why Delta feels wrong, because nostalgia isn't supposed to be perfect. I guess it's supposed to be messy, grainy, and human. The piss filter, the clunky controls, the awkward dialogue, those weren't flaws, they were part of the soul. And if you scrub them away, you're not preserving the game, you're erasing the atmosphere that made it unforgettable. I love Metal Gear Solid 3, not as much as the second one granted, but I did grow up playing it a lot, and playing it again in Delta was fun, just to see those iconic cutscenes in 4K. But the truth is, it's not the same. In my opinion, the mystery is gone, the fog is gone, the imperfections are gone, and that's the danger of all these remakes. In trying to make nostalgia perfect, we strip it of everything that made it powerful to begin with. Because nostalgia was never meant to be in 4K, it was meant to be imperfect. Like memory itself. Guys, if you love nostalgia just as much as me, I've got some big videos coming soon, and if you like this kind of content, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and I really love making these, so show me some love. Alright guys, all the best.
Subscribe to Jake's Nostalgia now.